The US Federal Trade Commission and nearly every US state sued Facebook on Wednesday, saying that it broke antitrust law and should potentially be broken up. With the filing of the twin lawsuits, Facebook becomes the second big tech company to face a major legal challenge this fall. The FTC said in a statement that it would seek an injunction that could, among other things, require divestitures of assets, including Instagram and WhatsApp. In its complaint, the coalition of 46 states, Washington, D.C. and Guam also asked for Facebook's acquisitions of Instagram and WhatsApp to be judged to be illegal.
Just a few minutes ago, I led a bipartisan coalition of 48 attorneys general from around the nation in filing a lawsuit against the social networking giant Facebook. For nearly a decade, Facebook has used its dominance and monopoly power to crush smaller rivals and snuff out competition, all at the expense of everyday users. By using its vast troves of data and money, Facebook has squashed or hindered what the company perceived as potential threats. They've reduced choices for consumers. They stifled innovation, and they degraded privacy protections for millions of Americans. In an effort to maintain its market dominance in social networking, Facebook has employed a buy or bury strategy to impede competing services. First, Facebook used vast amounts of money to acquire smaller rivals and potential rivals before they could threaten the company's dominance. And I'll say billions were thrown at smaller companies in an effort to get them to sell. The two most glaring examples of this unlawful scheme were Instagram and WhatsApp. We are taking action today and standing up for the millions of consumers and many small businesses that have been harmed by Facebook's illegal behavior. And so we are asking the court to halt Facebook's anti-competitive conduct and block the company from continuing this behavior in the future, as well as provide any additional relief it determines is appropriate. By restoring competition, our lawsuit will help consumers have alternatives to Facebook and that they can vote with their feet when Facebook puts profits ahead of consumers' welfare and privacy.
James said the company used vast amounts of money to acquire such rivals before they could threaten the company's dominance.
So if you look at the complaint, it basically tells a story. It tells the story from the beginning, the creation of Facebook at Harvard University. It tells the story of the acquisition of some companies, but two companies in particular that we highlighted, WhatsApp and Instagram. It's important that, again, you have law enforcement, again, focus on unchecked power of corporations who continue to maintain monopoly power by setting the terms for how it uses private data. I'd also like to thank our colleagues and friends at the Federal Trade Commission for their collaboration. The FTC filed their own lawsuit against Facebook today as well, and we look forward to collaborating with them in the litigation process. We are also asking the court to provide any additional relief it determines is appropriate, including divestiture of illegally acquired businesses and or Facebook's assets or businesses, which is necessary to restore competition. It's really critically important that, again, we block this predatory acquisition of companies and that we restore confidence to the market. So we are pretty confident that we will succeed. Again, we just look at previous actions that have been taken by DOJ and our office as well with respect to Microsoft, with respect to AT&T.
Facebook said it is reviewing the FTC and state antitrust complaints. The company said the government now wants to do over with no regard for the impact that president would have on the broader business community or the people who choose our products every day. The US Justice Department sued Alphabet's Google in October, accusing the $1 trillion company of using its market power to fend off rivals. The lawsuits are the biggest antitrust cases in a generation, comparable to the lawsuit against Microsoft Corporation in 1998. The federal government eventually settled that case, but the years-long court fight and extended antitrust scrutiny prevented the company from thwarting competitors and is credited with clearing the way for the explosive growth of the internet. Facebook shares fell as much as 3% after the news before pairing losses and were last down 1.7%.